Hey y'all, welcome back to Nini's Texas Kitchen. Today we're going to make homemade bagels. So this is a multi-step process, so bear with us, we'll have fun doing this. So we'll go over our ingredients. First thing you're going to need is 8 ounces of lukewarm water, 3 cups of bread flour. You need 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1.5 tablespoons of butter cut into cubes and let sit at room temperature, and 1 packet of yeast or 2 teaspoons. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is put my bread into my mixer pan, my flour into my mixer pan, because I'm going to use my mixer today to start my dough. Then I'm going to put my salt on one side of the mixer. I'm going to put my sugar on the other side. Put the butter in on one side. As you can see, it's soft. Okay. Then I'm going to make a well in the center. Pour my water in. Now I'm going to get ready to put my yeast in one side as well. I haven't opened it yet. Put that in on the side nearest to where the sugar is. You need the dough hook on your mixer when you make this. Start it out kind of slow just to get the ingredients mixed together first. Then you can turn it up slowly. You don't want to fling your flour and stuff out. And then you're going to let it go and it's going to start making a dough ball. Once it starts sticking together really good, that's when you'll be ready to turn it out, knead it a little bit, and then we put it in the refrigerator once that's done for 20 minutes to let it rest. And all of the flour and everything is off of the sides of the mixer bowl. Then we've got our dough ball. And you can knead it in the bowl a little bit just to get it real smooth. Which this is already pretty smooth, just using the mixer for a few minutes. Kneading it real good, make it stick together really good. Alright, as you can see, we have a pretty dough ball. Now, this bowl here, I took just a little bit of oil and rubbed it around all in the bowl because you want a slightly greased bowl. Put it in there. We're going to let it rest in the refrigerator for 20 minutes. And when we come back, we'll turn it out onto a lightly floured surface and knead it. And then we'll roll it out. So I'm just putting cling wrap over it because I don't want any of my dough to get a film over the outside of it while it's resting from air exposure. So it goes in the fridge like this for 20 minutes. Timer. Okay, so with bagels, once you do that and you turn it out and you flour it and you knead it a little bit and then you roll it out and then you get ready to let it rise the first time. And then once you're done with that, then you have to shape it into the bagel shapes. And then when you do that, it goes into a blanching bath. They go in there for like 4 minutes. And then after that, they rise again. So we'll be back in a little bit. All right, our dough just came out of the refrigerator after chilling for 20 minutes. So now I'm gonna turn it out onto a lightly floured surface. And we're gonna knead it a little bit and then roll it out. Now we're gonna divide it up. And I forgot, this recipe makes 8 bagels. If I said 12 earlier, I was wrong, I meant 8. Try to divide them up as good as I could. So now you're going to take each little piece and you're going to roll it up into a ball. If you're extra skilled, you could do 2 hands and roll them on a thing, but I'm going to do it this way. Then once I get it rolled, I'm going to stick my finger down through the center like this. And then I'm going to stretch it out a little bit so that it has a hole in the middle, like so. All right, we're making the rest of our bagel rolls here. So you just roll them up really good, like I said. Poke a hole in the center with your thumb or your finger. You want to go all the way through because you want to be able to stretch it out a little bit. Don't worry, they'll get bigger when they rise, when we put them in the proofing drawer. which is my oven. My oven is my proofing drawer. Whenever we get through letting them rise for about an hour or so, 45 minutes to an hour, we'll have our water already boiling by the time we take them out. So I started about 20 minutes ahead of time. Once my water starts boiling, I'll put 1 tablespoon of sugar down in the water to let that dissolve. And then you put 2 to 3 of your bagels in there at a time and simmer them on each side. Turn the heat down, simmer them on each side for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side, and then you put them back. You drain them on paper towels, and then you put them back on your greased sheet, baking sheet, and then you bake them in the oven at 450 degrees for 15 minutes on one side approximately, and then you flip them over and you bake them for 15 minutes on the other side. We like to eat bagels in the morning sometimes on work days because we're busy and we're trying to get out of the house, so we'll slice them and toast them and eat them with either butter or cream cheese. So you can put anything on them you want. You can even make them into little sandwiches. You can slice them in half and make little mini pizzas out of them. They're just very versatile for lots of different things, and they taste good. So I just keep doing it, and I'm almost done. I am almost up to 8. I'm on number 6 right now. And there we go. Number 7. Oh, and another step that I'll do after I let them rise is I'll brush them with cool water so that the outside will form like a chewy crust also besides the water bath that they'll go in. Last one. So we're gonna cover them, and oh, I need to brush them with cold water now, it says. So had that step backwards. So put some cold water on, let's go ahead and brush them. Brush it on there. All around. And also covering your baked goods in water or egg wash will help them get a more browned crust than if you just leave them plain and don't brush them. So you want them to be pretty as well as taste good, so make sure you don't forget that part. All right, like I almost did. So I'm just gonna take the cleaner wrap, put it back on top, like so. I'm gonna get another piece, cover up the other two. I already had my proof setting set on my oven to let them rise. So now, stick them in here. And I'm going to time it for 45 minutes. And I'll check them. If they need to rise a little bit more, I'll set it for 15 minutes more when I get to that point. So we'll be back in a little bit. All right, so just took my bagels out of the oven. They doubled in size. So now to my boiling water, I gotta add 1 tablespoon of sugar to let that dissolve. And it don't take but a second when they're boiling. So then turn your heat down to a low simmer, and then you put like 2 to 3 of these in at a time, and you do them for about 3 minutes on each side. At the same time, I'm gonna set my thing to cook. So we just do this for about 3 minutes on each side with all of them, and then I've got my paper towels ready to drain them on my paper towels, and then I put them back on the greased baking sheet to bake them. Yeah, they look homemade, but they're good. They'll be good whenever they come out of the oven. And this is what we do. So we'll be back once we get done blanching these. All right, so we finished doing our poaching bath on our bagels. So while I was doing that, I set my oven to 450 degrees, and I'm doing it on convection bake. So now I have to bake them for 12 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes on each side. So I'm going to start with 12, and if I think they need 3 more to get the golden brown color, then I'll do 3 more. And then halfway, so after 12 to 15, then I'll take them out, flip them over, and bake them for another 12 to 15 minutes. So we'll be back whenever we're ready to take them out of the oven. All right, y'all, our bagels are done. So they may not look like the ones that you get out of the store, but they're gonna be really good because they're homemade and they're even better. So they're cooled down. I've cut one open, and I'm gonna butter it up, and we're gonna give it a try. See what we think. A lot of people like to eat cream cheese on them. I like to eat cream cheese on them. But for now, I'm just gonna put some butter on one. And just eat it with some butter. Good old butter. In the mornings, I like to cut them in half and toast them. And they're really good like that. All right, here we go. Let's try it. Nice and chewy. Perfect. If y'all enjoyed my video making homemade bagels, please like my video, share it, and subscribe to my channel. Also, please don't forget to go watch my other videos. We'll see y'all next time in Nini's Texas Kitchen.